Stat News reported late yesterday promising results with Gilead's Remdesivir trial, saying, quote, an early peek at data on Gilead's coronavirus drug suggests patients are responding to treatment. This sparking some skepticism in the analyst community, with Raymond James saying that the report causes confusion rather than confidence. Gilead out with a statement in part saying the totality of the data need to be analyzed in order to draw any conclusions from the trial. Anecdotal reports, while encouraging, do not provide the statistical power necessary to determine the safety and efficacy profile of Remdesivir as a treatment for COVID-19. We expect data from multiple studies to continue to evolve over the next month to help establish the safety and efficacy of Remdesivir in patients infected with COVID-19. Joining us now is one of the reporters behind that Stat News article, which moved the entire market, I should say, Adam Feuerstein. Adam, amazing scoop. At one point, I think futures last night were up 900 points on it. Just give us a sense as to how encouraging and how concrete the data that you were able to access was.
Yeah, the market reaction was a little bit bizarre watching that unfold after our story came out. You read Gilead's statement, and I agree with Gilead's statement. I think that they're right. What we were reporting on is a snapshot of a large phase 3 clinical trial that they're running that is showing these patients were treated at the University of Chicago Hospital, and the results there look encouraging, and that's what we were reporting on. But I think, as Gilead noted, and is worth mentioning, is that this is a large trial, and what we're showing is a snapshot of a large trial, and we need to wait to see what all those results look like, and thankfully we will see those results by the end of the month.
And Adam, just talk us through how big or small of a snapshot you got a glimpse of that this is. You saw a video of one of the people involved in the trial talking about how many cases versus how many are in fact in the full trial.
Right. So this is the University of Chicago Medicine, their hospital there, was treating about 125 patients overall in the Gilead trials. The trial right now, I mean, when the trial continues to get larger, it was 4,000 patients, the planned enrollment, 4,000 patients when we reported on this yesterday. Just today, they upsized the study to 6,000 patients. So, this is a snapshot of the overall studies. And what we were reporting on was essentially the academics, the physicians, the faculty members at the University of Chicago who are overseeing all of the coronavirus work, the treatment, the studies that they're doing at that hospital. It was the principal investigator from Chicago speaking about the performance or, what was happening to the patients that they were caring for.
Let's talk about the patients, Adam. You mentioned that they were all in pretty critical condition. Were they all on ventilators? And have they received, did you hear about them having received any other treatments like anti-inflammatory drugs as well?
So it's a great question, Sarah. These are patients that are characterized as having severe COVID-19 for the study that we are reporting on. Now, when people hear severe COVID-19, they probably think patients who are on mechanical ventilators. These patients were not, at least going into the study, they were not on ventilators. They had severe symptoms. They had trouble breathing. They were on supplemental oxygen in the hospital. But as defined by the entry criteria of the Gilead study, these patients were not being intubated, at least when they came in to the study.
Adam, I wonder what you would say to some of the critics of even this article over the course of today, starting point of this, of course, the huge scoop that we acknowledge that it is, and it's led the discussion today. Raymond James is analyst for Gilead, who likes the company. He's got a buy rating. He likes the prospects of Remdesivir. Called it hearsay, and I know your article contains lots of caveats throughout to say this, of course, is early stages and it's not hard data. The title of the article, though, does say an early peek at the data. How did you weigh up kind of pulling this all together? Did you expect this type of pushback? Do you think it's justified?
I understand the criticism, and we've discussed it. When we were doing this reporting and we received this information, as any journalistic organization, we were carefully weighing how to how to portray the information, whether to report on it. We reached out to the University of Chicago, got comment from them. We reached out to Gilead, got comment from them. And so we felt like this was obviously a very closely followed drug. It's a closely followed clinical trial. And the information that we had, the data that we were talking about, which was discussed on this video that we found, was relevant and newsworthy and was important enough to report on, but in perspective. And I think what we tried to be very careful about in the story that we wrote was to place this snapshot of data within the broader perspective of the clinical trials that are being conducted. And I believe that we did do that, but I also understand that some people will disagree with that.
No, I agree in terms of the whole body of the article, even if the headline is slightly different. That said, even though I agree with the balance across the whole article, any part of you worry, Adam, that some people might adjust how they're taking on preventative measures at the moment if they now think there's a cure?
Yeah, well, we actually thought about that. This study is open label, which for people who don't understand what that means that all the patients in the study are getting remdesivir. And so the doctors know that the patients are getting remdesivir. The patients know that they're getting remdesivir. So because of that, it's not a placebo control. So there was no risk of jeopardizing the conduct of the study, and because everybody's getting the drug. That's also one of the criticisms of the study, is that there isn't a control arm in the study. That's an issue that Gilead is going to have to. That's a challenge for Gilead when they do unblind the study, or not unblind it, I'm sorry, but when they release the results, they analyze it, there isn't going to be a control arm. So, but we did think about that. I mean, we did give a lot of thought to that, and we didn't think that we were jeopardizing anything by doing this reporting.
Adam, what do you know, if anything, about the two patients that died and did not respond to the treatment? Anything about their profiles or conditions?
No, we don't know anything about the conditions or what happens. I mean, I think, as you know, unfortunately, in all clinical trials, some patients do not respond to drug. Some patients die. That's something that happens across clinical trials routinely. It's unfortunate, obviously, but we don't know anything about those two patients.